Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday the 26th of May. Starting off with the S&P, where obviously the binary bet of the debt ceiling situation is playing on the market, at least on the bull side. Here we've had, though, a rebound above the rising 50-day moving average so far, and we're also back above that old August resistance line there around 41.50. Above that, still looking for a break of 4,200 and then up to a best case scenario target as high as 43.50 over the following 1 to 2 months. So maybe that would take us into mid-July if everything panned out nicely. If it didn't and we broke 40.95 in the 50-day line, then the worst case scenario at the moment is probably 40.50 on the downside if things go pear-shaped. On to the stocks and a techie feel today. The first one is Advanced Micro Devices. Here we've had a massive unfilled gap to the upside. It's always good to see a stock exceed a previous charting resistance line target. In this case, it was around $113. Above that, we're looking for a new level up, and that would be up towards the June resistance line projection from last year, as high as $135, and maybe we could see that by the end of next month, i.e. June. Moving along to a famous name, almost as famous as Advanced Micro. Here we've got Groupon, which looks like it's in a bona fide broadening triangle base. That started in, basically at the beginning of November. Top of that triangle heading for $11. Looking for that as soon as the end of next month, especially while we remain above recent resistance around $4.20. You can also see that yesterday we had a gap close buy signals. We closed above the gap down that we had back in March by quite some way, so that was around the $4.90 area, and we closed well above that. The longer we stay above that gap, the greater the chance of not only the 200-day line at $7.20, but obviously the $11 triangle top. On to a stock which also has some sort of subtle moves to the upside here, breaking through the resistance that we had there from back in February, March. That was around $2.50. Above that, we're looking for a retest of that October resistance line projection around $3.50 that we saw yesterday. Big picture target here as high as $4.30 at that April resistance line projection. So let's see if the shares can deliver the goods. But at least while we're above that 250 area, it looks as though Semileds Corporation could be on the way up. Moving on to another riser, which we hope will have legs. Here we've got Modine Manufacturing Company, and here one of those handbrake turn situations. So we had weak price action earlier in the week, and then gap up straight through the 50-day moving average, and also a resistance line there from back in March. Above the old resistance on the way down, so that's 23.30, let's call it, looking for the resistance line projection from back in August last year, as high as $32 by the end of next month. Stock which is new to us, at least in the US chart breakers, is Marvell Technology, and here we've got a nice break through the old resistance area around $49.40, and above that looking for a resistance line projection from September as high as $61 by the end of next month. Ideally we stay above the $47 area, which was the last major resistance on the way down. Above $47, looking for a $60+ target on Marvell. Nvidia, big news yesterday with the shares also climbing in sympathy. Here we've had stock was obviously, to be fair, was actually already looking pretty bullish. We had the unfilled gap to the upside higher back in February, and we maintained price action all wholly above the 50-day moving average, currently around $280. The only problem at the moment is that we're trying to work out where support might come in, and obviously the shares could retrace back to that $350 area, but at least above $350 we're looking for a meeting with that resistance line projection that I've drawn from October last year. That's heading up towards a pretty decent target, which at the moment would be up towards the $490 area, maybe over the next 2 to 3 months. So a pretty impressive chart there from Nvidia. On to Palantir, which can't resist looking at, one of the most active stocks as well, so always of interest, this one. Here you can see that the shares have continued to progress, slightly sort of taking profits, a bit of profit taking near the $13 area, but the view here is at least while we're above $12, looking for as high as $15 at the resistance line projection from last summer by the end of next month. New name coming up next, and here we'll see that Supermicro Computer really has lived up to its name. Massive gap to the upside there. Obviously, we're hoping that the support for the shares will come in towards the $192 intraday low of yesterday. Above that, looking for $240, but obviously we've got to allow for a bit of wiggle room in terms of where the shares will actually find support. Next situation is a bullish situation, as you might expect, team, and here looks like we've got a turnaround here, breaking through the 50-day moving average around $5.40. Initial target, the 200-day line at $8. Eventual target, hopefully, up to the October resistance line projection at $12 by the end of next month. But the key here is remaining above that 520 area and the 50-day moving average. Just on to the last three now, and first one up here is Vertiv Holdings, and here another flyer. We already had a gap through a bear trap reversal there through the 200-day moving average. We had that at the end of last month. Current situation is that we're hoping that new support will come in at around the $17.80 level, and above that looking for $22.50 as soon as the end of next month. But quite a jumpy, gappy kind of stock here, so one to watch out for. On to the last two, and here we've got Wireless Telecom Group. Situation here is that we're hoping that the shares will remain above the old support here that we had back in the December period, mid-December. That was around the $1.55 area. Above that, looking for a retest of initial 2023 resistance around the $2 mark. If you're cautious, you wait for an end-of-day close through the 200-day line, which is still rising, around $1.67. Finishing off with a stock which is not helping in the alphabetical stakes, but the Alkaline Water Company. Here we've broken above the 50-day moving average at $1.70. Above that, looking for the 200-day line at $3.80. And then maybe over the next couple of months, maybe by the end of July, as high as $6 at the top of that broadening triangle from back in November. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.